Ric Flair Show.
My name's Ric Flair.
Woo! Woo! To be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo! Right here, I'm the man.
The 16-time world champion.
Woo! Back behind the mic and telling it like it is.
Woo!
If you're not carrying the big gold, you're second best no matter what you tell yourself. I'm the best. Y'all playing catch-up ball to the nature boy.
And now, your hosts of the Ric Flair Show, Ric Flair and Conrad Thompson.
Woo!
All right, we've got a huge show for you today on the Ric Flair Show. Let's get right into it, Rick. It's our Figure 4 Top Stories brought to you by Indochino.com. This week, our listeners can get any premium Indochino suit for just $3.89. All you need to do is use promo code FLAIR at checkout. That's 50% off the regular price of a made-to-measure premium suit with free shipping. It's Indochino.com. Promo code FLAIR, and it's just $3.89 with free shipping. Rick, let's get into it. Top story number 1. The Nature Boy has returned to WWE TV this past Monday night on Monday Night Raw from Charlotte, North Carolina. Rick, what'd you think of the match with Sasha Banks going over Charlotte for the Women's Championship? And now, what should we expect from you moving forward on WWE TV?
Well, I think I'm back on TV now. It hasn't happened officially, but as I've told her, it's not about winning or losing. It's about having the greatest match. And every time they work, the bar goes up. They had the greatest match I've ever seen them on. I mean, it was so real. The kendo stick, I mean, I'm so proud of both of them. Of course, I'm partial to Ashley because she's my daughter, but God, Sasha took it too, boy. I mean, they did it. And the big thing that I thought was great on the moonsault, I'm saying this to you, Sasha Banks, if you hear me. It's a big deal to catch Ashley on that moonsault.
Absolutely.
Because if she doesn't, she crashes. That was a cement floor. That wasn't a mat.
Right.
So, what's her name? I mean, Sasha took the bump, took the hit. I mean, it was unbelievable. And I was so proud to be there, so honored, my hometown. I got to go out at the end, and I thought, I'm just, once again, the women's division with Charlotte and Ashley, my daughter, and Sasha, the bar has been raised so high. I actually said that night, I'll say it again now, that was the best. And Kevin Owens and Roman had a hell of a match. That was the best match on the card. And that says a lot for the women's division.
Well, and it's a big deal for your family. I don't know that everybody knows this, but it's the first time she's been back on TV in a main event type position as the champ in Charlotte, her hometown. She had more than 50 guests there. Her sister was there. Her brother was there. Her mother was there. I mean, everybody's there.
You were there, everybody.
And I mean, and even in the front row, you got to see, her niece and nephew, cheering on. And it was really big deal for the Flair family, and it was really cool to see.
I couldn't be more proud. The whole family was there. And I mean, how many times that happened in real life with family and people? I mean, it's a gift, And you know what? I want to live long enough to induct her in the Hall of Fame. She is in such a great place. She leaves. I will see her in Austin on Monday, and then she leaves for Afghanistan with Vince for 5 days. She's in a great place, and then I'll see her in Philadelphia, and I'm getting to spend some more time with her. And I mean, unless they change their plans. Right now, I'm going to be back on Monday, but it could change tomorrow. So if I'm not, God bless her. I'm so proud of her, as are you, and Megan, her sister, her brother David, our grandchildren, Megan, David, Ashley. I mean, our grandchildren, Morgan, Carter, and Piper. So awesome. Thank you so much.
It was awesome, man. Really cool to see, and I'm glad as a Nature Boy fan that we can look forward to maybe you being on TV a little more. Let's get to top story number 2. WWE 205 Live debuted last night on the network right after SmackDown Live. I want to get your take on this, Rick. Back in the WCW days, the first hour of Nitro was somewhat focused on the cruiserweights. What do you think about the decision to put the cruiserweight show on the network after SmackDown each week?
Well, I didn't see it. I don't have an opinion. That's my problem. I hate to say it. I have so much respect for the cruiserweights as athletes, but it's not what I'm looking for. It's not what I look forward to watching. I just feel like, first of all, I think Ashley's a better athlete than the cruiserweights. So it makes sense. The cruiserweights are great. They're athletic, really nice guys, but they can't have a match better than Sasha and Charlotte.
I worry about the positioning of this show from a live crowd perspective, because you would have had the main event match on SmackDown, just leave the ring, and then you're going to start a new show cold. Even if it's high-flying action, I wonder just the emotions of a crowd.
If I were you, I'd be more concerned. And I saw Vince. They have a story now where they talk about me with flight attendants. Are you kidding? What have I ever done with flight attendants?
Well, it's WWE Storytime. It's on the network. It's on the very first episode.
What have I ever done with flight attendants? What is wrong with these people? They keep coming up with conversation lines I don't remember.
Well, in fairness, you're the person telling the story, just so you know.
I know, but it was 25 years ago, okay? So all those flight attendants are dead, and so should I be.
I love you for that. Top story number 3. This weekend is another WWE pay-per-view. It's TLC from Dallas. Rick, let's go through the matches, see who you like. Heath Slater and Rhino are going to take on the Wyatt family of Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. This is Wyatts. Here we go. Kalisto and Baron Corbin. Who do you like there? The chairs match.
Kalisto.
Nikki Bella and Carmella in a no DQ match.
Nikki Bella.
The Miz with Maurice versus Dolph Ziggler in a ladder match.
Ziggler.
Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss for the tables match for the women's championship.
Becky Lynch.
AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose, tables, ladders, and chairs in the main event.
Say it again. Dean and who?
AJ Styles, the champion for the TLC main event.
I'm going to stay with AJ.
AJ Styles. There you go. There's your quick picks for TLC this weekend in Dallas.
Yep.
Top story number 4. It's hard to believe, Rick. Lots of WrestleMania rumors are already swirling as we head towards the Royal Rumble. There's talk that Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey, and others are being considered. And there's rumors of a Shane McMahon-Brock Lesnar match or a Goldberg-Brock Lesnar match. And tons of folks now speculating it'll be Undertaker and John Cena as the plan for Mania. And lots of rumors that AJ could drop the belt to Taker at Rumble, and then Cena challenges The Undertaker for the career versus Cena's 16th title win. If you had to fantasy book WrestleMania right now, what would you like to see, Rick?
I would love to see Charlotte, my daughter, against Ronda Rousey.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Which I think would be huge. I know she'll be in a main event somewhere, and I think they can make that work. But as you and I both know, Ronda has to win this month, or the credibility will be hard to sell. So I just know that Charlotte will be in a main event somewhere. John Cena and Undertaker, I think it's something everybody would like to see. But I can tell you this right now. If they wrestle, Undertaker will win. John's got a whole new life. He doesn't care. He's the most giving guy in the world. As is Mark. Are you okay? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
What was the third question?
No, that was it. I just wanted to see kind of what you thought about fantasy booking WrestleMania. I think it's going to be a lot.
I think the biggest match people want to see, but I'm not sure what happened, would be Shane McMahon against Hunter.
Yeah, I agree. That would be a big one. I think it would be cool.
I mean, that would knock you off your chair, and nothing knocks you off your chair.
Shane McMahon and Triple H, Undertaker, John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Goldberg. If that's what we get, that's starting to look like a pretty big damn WrestleMania. I
can tell you right now, it's Brock and Goldberg, which I think it is. It's going to be a lot different than we saw last month.
Well, we're going to see a winner right now. Let's go ahead and give away our Omaha Steaks Tasteful Gift. It's something we announced last week. All you had to do to enter was go ahead and tweet at the show using hashtag Ric Flair Show and show that you'd subscribe to the show. We had the CEO of Omaha Steaks on the show with us last week, and he gave us a $141 prize pack that he calls the Tasteful Gift. It's filet mignons, top sirloins, boneless pork chops, potatoes au gratin, and caramel apple tartlets. And now we've got a big winner. Ladies and gentlemen, our winner is Joseph Reed. Joseph Reed, this Tasteful Gift is coming your way. Compliments of Omaha Steaks. And be sure to go ahead and make sure Omaha Steaks is a part of your holiday season. This is the gift that everybody wants to have. And you need to make sure that you're thinking of everybody. You know, you're making your list, you're checking it twice. Go ahead and give a gift where you don't have to stand online to do it. And you're going to give the gift of an experience. Give the gift of Omaha Steaks. It's the perfect gift. And now for only $49.99, you can get Ric Flair's family gift pack. All you do is go to omahasteaks.com and enter code FLAIR in the search bar. You'll get 77% off. This is going to be a great steak experience right there at home with the most flavorful tender aged beef. Plus, they've got seafood, poultry, pork, veal, lamb, everything you need. And check this out, more than 500 different gift ideas. But one of the things you should know about for sure is this awesome pack they've got for only $50. Let's run through everything. It's 2 filet mignons, it's 2 top sirloins, it's 2 boneless pork chops, it's 4 chicken breasts, it's 4 kielbasa sausages, it's 4 burgers, it's a 12-ounce package of the all-beef meatballs, it's 4 potatoes au gratin, it's 4 caramel apple tartlets, and it's the very special Omaha Steak seasoning packet. But best of all, they're going to give you 4 additional kielbasa sausages for free. Just go to omahasteaks.com and enter Flair in the search bar. You're going to go ahead and find the family gift pack right there in your cart, and it's at a 77% savings. This is going to be a hit. It's only $49, and you get all that stuff. Hook it up right now, omahasteaks.com, and make sure you search for Flair. We'll be right back here on The Ric Flair Show.
How to be the man. I'm going to consider myself an expert for so many reasons. Self-confidence, looks, grooming, and by the way, we don't stand in line. You walk to the head of the line, you take out $100, which will really impress this chick. You give it to the guy, and you know for $100 you're walking in like you own the place. Give somebody else another $100 for their chair. If you need 2 chairs, you're in. That's all you have to do. She's already chomping at the bit to go home. But don't give in. Make her beg. Make her say, oh, I'm getting tired. You say, I'll let you know when it's time to go, honey. Right now, I'm just being the man. And then you remind her that she could never be first. But tonight, she could be next. And that's how to be the man. And I'm Ric Flair.
Rick, I got to tell you, I'm excited to talk about this sponsor. Even as a youngster, what I knew about Ric Flair is that he was custom made from head to toe. When did you first start saying that?
In 1978.
Since 1978, the Nature Boy has been the sharpest dressed man in the room, and now you can be, thanks to Indochino.com. All you need to know about this is it's custom made to measure suits that are going to fit you impeccably. This is what Rick was talking about on TV back in TBS days. This is not a generic off-the-rack suit. He used to talk about, this costs $800, and I don't know what that cost. I'd be ashamed to wear it. You won't ever be ashamed to wear an Indochino suit. This thing is going to make you look like you're supposed to look. Looking only as you can look. Go to Indochino.com.
Looking only as you can look.
There you go. Come on. This stuff is going to be great fitting, and it's high-quality stuff. You get the suits, you get the shirts, everything you need. You can pick from hundreds of fabrics and patterns. You can even choose your customizations, from your lapels to your pleats to your jacket linings, everything. All you've got to do is submit your body measurements. Then just kick back, relax, and get ready to step into the most stylish suit you've ever worn. It only takes about 4 weeks, but check this out. Here's what you need to know. Just because you listen to the Ric Flair Show, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars like the Nature Boy did. Now you can get a custom-made suit from Indochino for only $389. That's right, $389 at Indochino.com. What promo code do they use, Rick?
FLAIR, Flair.
That's 50% off the regular price. It's made to measure. It's premium. You're going to be custom made from head to toe, and the shipping is free. Punch it in right now. Indochino.com. Indochino.com. And what's the promo code, Rick?
FLAIR, custom made from head to toe. Woo, woo, woo.
$389 and free shipping. Hook it up right now. Indochino.com.
You're listening to The Ric Flair Show.
Anything I need to know about you?
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo, woo!
And now, more Ric Flair.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Ric Flair, host of the Ric Flair Show, along with the greatest co-host imaginable in the podcast business, the legendary Conrad Thompson, the second wealthiest man
Here we go.
in the state of Alabama, owner of the Conradson Estate, entrepreneur, lover of lots of women.
Oh, my gosh.
And our co-host and our guest today is another legend with more money than God, Jeff Jarrett, whose father and I watched him grow up as a young man and become a great professional wrestler, and always the initiative to push further, make the best things better, and a great guy who I've worked with several times. Once he knocked me out with a guitar, had to go to the hospital, but otherwise, now we're good. Anyway, he was the second best strutter in wrestling behind me. Hello, Jeff. How are you, man?
Hello, Nate. I appreciate all that BS that you just spewed about myself, except the one thing you did say. You did lie. I'm not the second best strutter. I think I'm behind Fargo, behind you, behind Buddy Rogers, behind a lot. So I'll put
No. Hey, listen, Fargo and those guys and Rogers, that was old time stuff. You and I took it to a whole new level. Let's go. Let's get there.
I just can't drop an elbow on my suit coat like that.
I know, yeah.
You're the best. You're the absolute best at that. So I appreciate you having me on, and Conrad.
Oh, man, we know you don't do this stuff very often, so, Jeff, we appreciate it, man.
No, I was...
and by the way, if you weren't going to do it, I was going to call your wife, who is still the hottest chick in all of professional wrestling.
And you do
She's
have her
unbelievable.
Number, right?
Of course I have her number.
Conrad, you book her on the next go around when y'all need to get.
Well, yeah. If you pull the number, she's up next.
I like it. I like it. Well, Jeff, what's going on, man? It was a big weekend. You guys crowned a new GFW Next Gen champion, friend of the show, Cody Rhodes, as a champ in your organization now. Catch everybody up about all things Global Force Wrestling and Cody Rhodes.
You know, it's very, very exciting. Cody, it goes without saying, I was, close with Dusty, really close in the early years at TNA and everything he contributed. And me and Dusty back in those days, Cody was in high school and all that. And to get the opportunity, and Cody came, left the WWE. And I got a lot of respect for a guy who basically wants to blaze his own trail. And him being a second-generation guy and as talented he is, we sort of seized the opportunity, and the timing of all this is, to me, it's perfect because Conrad, not sure if you're aware, we put an announcement back, it's been quite a while now, but we partnered with the hottest television production company in the world. They're Hell's Kitchen, they've done for 17, 18 seasons.
Wow.
But the show that takes them to another level is American Ninja Warrior. And Arthur, they came out to our Vegas tapings last year, struck up a great relationship. One thing led to another. It's obviously taken a lot longer than I had hoped, but partnering with Arthur was a game changer for us, and we're right now in the middle of some pretty cool discussions, not only domestically but internationally. So 2017 is finally going to be our year, and Cody Rhodes becoming the next gen champ just fits perfectly for our plans.
Yeah, Cody's a great guy, and and I don't underestimate either do you. He's a great worker. He's not just good; he's a great worker. He does some stuff that I never thought he was capable of. He can do anything, and he's not afraid to try anything. So I'm a huge fan of Cody's, and of course I was a really close friend and a big fan of his father. So a lot of history there too.
Yeah, I was going to say quite a bit of history with the Flair and the Rhodes family, but no, and that's one thing this last weekend on Friday night at WrestleCade. Watching that match, I knew Cody was super athletic, but I didn't realize he's deceptively. I'm not sure, but very, very, very agile. He's no small kid. I mean, he's a big kid and very, very agile, and I was blown away by the match they had. So I'm excited.
I didn't see. I left before that. I just had a chance to talk to you for a second. Who do you work with?
Sanjay Dutt, and Sanjay is
okay.
One of the pioneers of the X Division back in the day, and a seasoned vet. But those two guys, toward the end on the near falls, it was very, very entertaining.
Well, good. Well, Cody can work, man. I'm saying he didn't like the gimmick he was in, and I didn't like it either for him. The sad thing is that they were going to change it before he left. So, and I know that personally, but sometimes he'll be a couple of years away. He'll be back there. We know that. It's just, and the thing of it is, he's making great money on the sidelines, having a good time, and working a much easier schedule. God. Yep.
New bride and everything that goes with that. And like I said, I got a lot of respect. This business, it goes without saying. WWE is not the 800-pound gorilla. They're the 8,000-pound gorilla. And what Vince has done with his organization, it's gone so much bigger. I mean, right now we're on a podcast, and there is obviously multiple wrestling podcasts that are outside of the 8,000-pound gorilla, but Vince has created this, this industry where it is, in our negotiations right now, the streaming rights and podcasts and the digital and everything, it's no longer just what I was raised on, and Rick, obviously, which you were the shining, one of the brightest shining stars of the territory days. That you be on Saturday morning, Saturday night, and then you make the loop and go make your money at house shows, and merch, wasn't really a factor. And
never.
It was your payoff. Yeah. And so now we're sitting here, and our good friend Conrad is making more bank than he knows what to do with. Just running these podcasts, just getting richer and richer.
You think? Hey, Jeff, and I still haven't beaten Jerry Lawler.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
I never got a pin. I never got a pin.
Never. Come on, is that the truth?
I never pinned Jerry. Are you kidding me? We sold out Lexington. We sold out Memphis. We sold out Louisville. We worked a return match, and it's going to be in the what is the bowl you have down in the Blue Bonnet Bowl, or I can't remember.
Liberty Bowl.
Liberty Bowl, right?
Yep.
And Jerry declined. So I wrestled Koga Beware. Koga was nice enough to put me over.
I got to tell you a story about that, because I knew coming on here I had to jog my memory. of my early childhood Ric Flair memories, and I was actually at WMC TV when you shot the deal and how the match came into play, and then I was at the Mid-South Coliseum that night, and I can tell you the last, it seems like the last 15 minutes of the match, but whatever. When y'all decided to take it home, there wasn't a person in the building that wasn't completely convinced that Coco was winning that night. It was a piece of work. It was really, really, really.
Well, there's even more history to it. They asked Bill Dundee to show up, and he wouldn't either. So my hats. I just saw Coco with you this weekend, so I thank him again for helping me out. But people, it's so much easier to do business, as you know, because you've always done business. It's so much easier to do business when you have a talented guy. And Coco was over. I mean, hell, he's a great kid, a nice guy, and you know me, right? I just want to go out there and have fun. When it gets political, I'm miserable and I'm at my worst. But when it's easy,
that people talk about the art of professional wrestling, at times is lost in the TV and all that, and there is some truth to that, because that night Coco got over and got pinned in the middle of the ring, and I don't have to tell you. Let's go back just a couple of days. Charlotte, to me, got over tremendously Monday night.
Are you kidding me?
Much more than the champion, and that's no disrespect to her at all. But the people nowadays are so fine in tune that I think pulling pages out of the, I hate to say it, old school, because Coco took that loss and was elevated in the fans' eyes, because the match became more legendary every week and every month. And Coco could reference it in promos that he was this close and he was off and running. And that's really the art of our business, in my opinion.
Well, what's great, I have a friend named Mike Ryan with ESPN that texted me and said, God, it's never about winning or losing. And said, Ashley Charlotte, your daughter, he said, you must be so proud. Your daughter raised the bar again so damn high. And she did, and as we all have to go through, she's finally learned it isn't about winning or losing. It's about who they go home with. And she did. I was there. I watched it. So she was.
Well, and I don't want to, Conrad, don't get on me for disagreeing with the lead host here. I always like to tell guys, it's really not about winning or losing. It's on how you win or lose.
Exactly.
And So that it's, Charlotte was phenomenal, and then the big buzz is the Goldberg Lesnar situation.
Yep.
I think that was a piece of work. I think it was done masterfully. If they had gone 8 or 10 minutes, everybody would have the rifles out. But wham bam, thank you ma'am, holy crap! And to me, Brock just, as they say in the old days, he just backed up to the Brinks truck for the rematch.
There you go.
Well, here's the deal. Which I sometimes I'm not privileged to know, but I've been there. He's ready. It's going to be a different day. It's going to be a different day in Orlando at WrestleMania. Good Lord.
Yep.
And I always said I love Bill. They got him over big time, but he'll be at Suplex City in Orlando. If my information is correct.
Yeah, he'll be looking for that departure date.
Yeah.
When am I flying out of here?
It'll be the night that John Cena took 17 Germans. Give me a break.
Ooh.
Jeff, John Cena at SummerSlam 3 years ago took 17 German suplexes. Conrad and I watched them. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, John's a stud. He actually, when he comes to Nashville, I saw him at Gold's Gym, and I went up, and we never crossed paths. And he is
a special kind of cat, man.
I don't even know how to put it into words, because what he's done with his career and the longevity and the staying power and his talk and how he deals with the audience and his fans, and just he's transcending. You know, he's another movie's coming out on him, and he's got his Fox reality show, so he's doing very well for himself, and I'm happy for him.
And he moved to Canada and has a 5,000-acre ranch that he raises cattle on. I told him he only flies on private jets, nothing commercial. I said his ranch is like 80 miles from Minot, North Dakota. He's a wilderness guy. He's like Steve Austin and Sean. All he wants to do is hunt and fish, and he's just happy. And Sable or Rena and he are very happy, and he's, it's phenomenal. I mean, he's got the greatest lifestyle. He still has his place in Minneapolis. He got his money from our company for WWE. He got money from UFC. I mean, he's in a great place. I'm happy for him, If you can get it, as we all know,
go get it.
Most insensitive business in the world. If you can get it, get it. Because no one's giving it to you.
Well, this feels like a good time to ask the story about when Jeff left WWF the second time. That's what everybody listening wants to hear. Lots of speculation as to how that went down. Your last match with China in the WWE for the Intercontinental title. And talking about money, that's this thing that seemingly people kind of always come back to. What was your perspective on how that went down? And if you had it to do all over again, would you do it the same way?
Boy, and I've told this story a couple of times. That was so sensationalized, and that was when the internet was really percolating and what's going to happen. And I was champion on, advisory champ, and my contract expired on Saturday at midnight, and the pay-per-view was on Sunday, and what's going on in this? And obviously, in the contract negotiations, and me and Jim Ross have talked about this, and so it was, I'd love to really give you some juicy details, but here's the stone cold truth. It's simple. At that time, pay-per-views were monthly, and you get paid about every 90 days.
Right.
We had done a pay-per-view over in England. So I had about 4 or 5 pay-per-view payoffs coming. Obviously, Cleveland that night was coming. And then, 5, 6, 7 house show runs or whatever the checks that were, that hadn't been paid for.
Right.
And I thought it was going to be real simple because, I think Jim Ross didn't have a real happy day because of how all that went down. That Vince McMahon and to defend Ross and sort of defend the situation, Vince was traveling legitimately around the world nonstop because he was taking his company public. And so when you take a company IPOs and all that, you got to meet with all these investment bankers and presentations. So Vince was, didn't have his thumb on all the pulse. It's impossible to. That was Jim's job. So obviously Jim and creative and all that. So it sort of created a perfect storm or a perfect situation. So I was working, and doing the honors, and never had any intention of not doing it. But what I wanted to do is growing up in this business and dealing with promoters, and I wanted to shake hands and walk away, and I didn't want to end up with me having hard feelings, because I knew once I walked out that building that night, for all my payoffs of the last 3 or 4 months, I had zero leverage. And the guy who, Vince may sign off on it, but the guy who comes up with that number was JR. And JR was in a unique situation, so I didn't want to leave anything to chance. I wanted to agree on a number, and that's what we did. And I got my money that night, and Vince, I can assure you this, and Vince Rick can attest to this. If Vince McMahon did not want to pay me, what in the hell was I going to do?
Right.
He gladly paid me, and didn't hesitate, shook my hand, hugged my neck, and that's the last time, that I saw him. We've spoken on the phone, but that's the last time I saw him. But there was, all that issue of I held Vince up.
Right.
Who in right mind would believe that, honestly?
Here's what's funny. Jeff, I've never heard your version of it. I've never heard anything negative about it. But the deal is that European tours and pay-per-views, the money doesn't come in. You don't get it on your weekly check.
Right.
So I understand that now, and you just put a number you thought was going to be pretty accurate, which at your position you were in was very accurate probably, and you got the money. So, Jeff, I never hear anybody say anything bad about you because of that. Because
you hadn't talked to Karen in a while then. No.
I haven't talked to what?
I said, well, you hadn't talked to Karen in a while, but I'm kidding.
Talk to who?
His wife.
Karen. All right.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, well, Karen wasn't involved in it back then.
He's just kidding. He's making a joke. He's just kidding.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. But I mean, it's funny because I never hear anybody dwell on you. There are so many guys that the company puts up with, and you're not an internet guy, Jeff. What I like about you, aside from our friendship and your respect for me and my daughter and everybody else, is that you're not on the internet every day telling somebody they're the shits. I mean, behind a closed door. That makes sense? And I don't have to give you names because you read it every day. I'm going to do this. I'm going to say this. This guy's a shit. This guy's no good. I mean, it goes on every day. I never hear your name, ever, because you're not like that. Your dad raised you to just, run silent, run deep, and be the best you can be. And that's what I feel is great, because the internet it destroys people's careers. Some kids read it and they die. They go home, not literally, but they want to commit suicide. Like the kids at Raw now or SmackDown, they'll do their match and they'll run to the internet to see what they're saying about it. I mean, it's so sad that people have no clue about how our industry works and how things are able to influence decisions by it took me 2 years to tell Ashley, don't even look at the damn thing. Who cares? I mean, they know nothing, right?
Well, and here's what I was obviously very, very blessed to be around this business at such a young age and riding cars with guys that were 1 and 2 generations older than me. I can remember sitting in the back seat listening to Wahoo McDaniel tell stories and handsome Jimmy Valiant, and obviously Lawler being my dad's business partner, and just being around all that kind of stuff. But the one thing that I always equate that guys this generation don't really have the luxury. We went to Memphis on Monday, Louisville on Tuesday, Evansville on Wednesday. But back in the territory days, you always had a very, very vocal but minority 3 or 4 kids that would want to, catcall and boo the baby faces and cheer the heels and take negative comments and try to be a part of the show. That's in every arena, but it's like a 2 or 3% of your crowd and so now translate that into this generation, that vocal minority, and this doesn't go for every case. I'm not bashing that. I'm just saying there is a vocal minority that, and Conrad, I guess they call them trolls these days.
Yeah.
Some of the trolls, and then you respond to it, and then it just spins out of control, and then the narrative becomes completely fictitious. And that's what I hate. That guys, they don't have mentors around, and I'm not saying I'm one of them, but
But you are, Jeff. You are a mentor.
But to experience that through the territory days, and then watch it and realize that and Lawler would be the best at that. When I was a kid, he would be obviously the king of Memphis, and there'd be somebody that would be getting on him, and Lawler would grab the mic and carve that guy up so quick. And he would roll back into his seat, and you wouldn't hear from him for quite some time. But that's the unfortunate side of social media. But on the
Jeff,
other side,
Jeff, you and I both know the king of Memphis is Frank Morrell.
Oh, As I was just about to say, as I was saying that I got the chance to Wahoo Daniel, I almost referenced Frank Morrell because Frank, he was on
the king of Kingsport.
That's right. I wish he could hear that. He'd love that. That's right, King of Kingsport. Him and Ron.
Hey, I traveled with Frank Morrell for so long. He was the greatest of all. Oh my God, Frank! I rented a 35-foot van one time. 35-foot motorhome. And Frank Morrell, myself, and Ivan Koloff made the trip from hell. We started out, this was going into Raleigh TV, the 70s, right?
Yep.
We pulled up at Raleigh TV, WRAL, with the La Quinta next door, with 6 girls from every town we've been in.
Frank, you gave Frank a pair of wrestling boots, too, that he had.
Of course they did, yeah, of course. But they were so mad. Joe Murnick was the promoter there, and Jimmy was there. I was bringing all the guys out because we were taping 4 shows, putting them on the bus with the girls. Nowadays they call it a massage. So now, whatever it was. You know the deal, man. We had fun.
The one and only Nature Boy, in and out.
Hey, no. Here's the funny thing, right? Because I'm with TNA and I begged Jeff and Karen to come out every night. So we came out maybe twice in the year and a half I was there. But when we did, man, Jeff and Karen are the best. They have a great relationship, and they get it. And it's so much fun. Yeah, it's, I know you. Oh, my God, she's the best. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Well, hey, let's settle a debate. We're talking about, stuff online a few minutes ago, Rick. There's lots of debate online as to whether or not Jeff Jarrett was actually a horseman. Well, we've got kind of the lead horseman.
Jeff Jarrett should have been one.
Well, that's the question. Was he? In 1997 on TV, you guys made him a horseman, but then he was allowed to leave, but he didn't get beat up on the way out. So Arn Anderson says, he's not a horseman. But what do you say? Was Jeff Jarrett a horseman?
He should have. Yeah, yes, for sure.
There you go.
I mean, his wife wouldn't want to hear that, and I want to pay a footnote to, and I'm not sure. I think a lot of wrestlers know, but Jeff had a terrible experience with his first wife, and a terrible experience. I went through the same thing with my son, different reasons. One cancer. One to my son to, I don't know what the word would be, but just, drugs. It's a simple word, right? But Jeff's wife was beautiful. And Jeff, how old was she when she passed away, if you don't mind me asking? 37?
37, yeah.
Wow.
37.
I had the date memorized. I remember I texted him and went, God, I'm so sorry. And so, Jeff, you had 3 kids at that point, right?
Yep.
10,
6, and 3.
So Karen has come on and taken all those kids. And I mean, I've seen them all. I haven't seen them in a couple of years now, but Jeff brought them a TV, and Karen has come in and stepped in and been like the role model stepmother. So it's awesome, and it's tough when you lose somebody you're close to, and you're lucky you rebounded with a nice woman. So
yeah,
I'm not changing the scope of the conversation, but I lost one too, man. It can change your life. So
and I'll give you a little insight. I had Thanksgiving with my dad. Went to Karen's parents in the afternoon and went to my dad's that night. And my dad, he told me, buddy, that got lucky. He said, Karen's the keeper. She's a great woman and even better.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. I really do, Rick. I appreciate you saying that.
No, it's true. I mean, it's like, I remember I text Jeff. I mean, Jeff and I, we've never been best friends, Conrad, but mutual respect, right? And
sure.
A ton of respect on my side, for sure.
What's that?
I said a ton of respect on my side for you, for sure. Just because, and I'll go back into my childhood days. Just hearing the stories and seeing how the business worked, and the amount of hours you dedicated to this business, and hey, it goes without saying. I mean, it's just the traveling world champion. That you know.
Yeah, well. Well, Jeff, make no mistake. I had some fun at night. I'm not gonna lie.
That's a shocker. That's a shocker.
I didn't mind it. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is that when you go through a deal like and they can bring back, and it's pretty hard to say to your kids, I found somebody else. But I've seen them, Conrad. They love Karen. Karen's great to them. Role model, and it's all worked out great. So, getting off the wrestling subject, congratulations. And if this show gets a number, we'll call Karen next week.
As long as it gets a number. You know, and I don't know if you're wrapping me up, but I was thinking this morning when jogging my, and I don't even know if you ever even know. I know you don't remember it, but I know that. But it was a special birthday. I turned 30 in Orlando and got to work the main event against Ric Flair. And I don't ever throw chops, but I threw some of the ugliest looking chops because you called it. But no, I got that was right. I think when that Horseman thing, I may get criticized because my memory, but it was me and Flair in Orlando on my 30th birthday, and I can remember saying, "Damn, it was a milestone." It's one of those things that we've had. You know, I've been in the business. This past April was my 30th year, which is crazy for me to think. But you know, so we've had thousands of matches, but that's one that you know I'll never forget. It was on my 30th birthday, main event of Nitro, and that year
you won the match, right? You became champion, right?
No. That was later. That was a little later.
Okay.
This was for the U.S. title.
Oh, U.S. title.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Jarrett was the champ.
But he went over, right? I never win.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Who won the match?
I think there was there was some interference with Mongo there at the end, and there was a disqualification.
Yeah, okay. So who won the match?
I mean, technically, I'm going to say that.
I'm going to say I won by DQ.
That's right. That's right.
Mongo, Jarrett, which was the babyface.
Well, I kill you. You know, I never win. Thank God.
Hey, so that's worth talking about. Deborah McMichael, she's somebody we haven't talked about much on the show before, and she was in your corner there, and there was the whole back and forth with Mongo and you and the Horsemen. Do you got any good Mongo or Deborah McMichael stories you can share with us?
You know,
I got 1,000 of them.
But people ask me all the, you know, you get different questions, not just on podcasts, on interviews, whatever. Who's the strongest guy you've ever been in the ring with? And it's to me an easy 1, 2, and I don't know who's stronger. Steiner, my buddy, but I halfway trusted him. Not that I didn't trust Mongo, but not Mongo. I didn't know him, but also he was new in the business, and he came from the Chicago Bears. That guy was freakishly strong.
600-pound bench press guy.
Oh my gosh,
Mongo was bad to the bone, man.
You can't describe how when he grabs you.
Hey, a good question. Why does Scott Steiner not like me? You're his buddy. God, man, damn, what's the deal? What did I ever do wrong? I hired him.
Yeah, well, and I don't want to go there because I really don't know. But Scott,
you can go there. You won't hurt my feelings. I just saw Scott the other day. I shook hands with him and said hi. What was the deal with that? Tell me.
Well, no, to me, I guess you're talking back in the day at the WCW.
Yeah, but he went crazy one night in Tulsa. And
I think that's everybody pushing everybody's buttons. You know how WCW got there at that time.
No, Jeff. First of all, you won't hurt my feelings. I saw Scott something. We shook hands. I talked to him. He knows I'm a Michigan fan, but for some reason he went off on me huge in Tulsa one night, and then the next time I saw him, you were there. I saw you.
Yeah, but it was one of them locker room. I don't remember all the specifics, but it was he said, she said, he said, she said, down about 3 generations, and he exploded. And Robbie came up to me, Rick Steiner. Robbie said, Jeff, what the hell was that about? You were in the car. I said, hell, I honestly don't know. It was I think it was me and Scotty and Robbie had rode with Lex or something. But yeah.
Well, here's the deal. That in all fairness, and making me feel better about myself, he went off on Paige. The next week he went off on Tori Wilson. And my God, what? I just saw Scott Sunday. And do you guys still talk a lot?
Oh yeah. I
mean Saturday.
He's mellowed. He worked the show up here. I saw him this past Saturday and the Saturday before that. So I went down and did his grand opening at his Shoney's with Kevin and Scott. We've been buddies. He came in Tennessee in '87, basically straight out of wrestling school. So we go way back.
I was working the company when he came to Detroit. And I'm the guy that got him hired. And then I thought, what the fuck? He's mad at me. What have I ever done? No, we get along good now, but I mean, it's so crazy because Conrad, the shit disturber, always says to me, let's get Scott Steiner on the show.
Well, it'd be great. He'd be great.
I hate you, Ric Flair, you son of a bitch.
No, I think that would be a good idea.
See?
Conrad, I'll help you out if you want me to.
I do too.
I know Scott, and he's always very nice. And if you're listening and you're near, somewhere near Atlanta, you should go check him out. He owns the Shoney's in Ackworth, Georgia. He's there all the time. He's very active.
And I'm actually taking that concept because it's only Shoney's. There's only two of them in the world that sell liquor, and I'm taking that concept to Myrtle Beach. So thank you, Scott, even if you're mad at me.
There you go. That's great.
It's all good, man. Listen, I'm going to let you go. I know you got a time frame. Thank you so much. I hope you have the greatest rest of your life. Please always stay in touch. Please. And thank you. The first thing when I saw Jeff on Saturday said, Charlotte.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable. So respecting my daughter, respecting me, having fun, knowing his dad. I mean, it's hard to beat where we've been and what we've done, Jeff. And I just want you to respect you so much. Respect Karen. I'm sorry for the tragedy you went through. I went through it, but you know what? Life goes on, and you ended up in a really good place. And I'm in a great place now with Wendy. So, I mean, 4.5 years, Jeff, think about this. And don't start laughing.
I'm about to.
No, 4.5 years. I haven't worked. I haven't done anything bad. Jeff, 4.5 years.
Attaboy.
Well, maybe 4. Wait,
I was going to say 4. Maybe 4.
Maybe 4. Maybe 3.5.
Oh, goodness gracious.
No, Jeff, I'm going to go.
Nate, I appreciate you having me on. Conrad.
Oh, my God, are you kidding me? Jeff Jarrett, man. What do you want us to plug? Conrad, plug it all.
Hey, man, here's the deal. Real Jeff Jarrett on Twitter. He's a great follow, and be sure to go ahead and check out globalforcewrestling.com. It sounds like some great stuff is right around the corner for all things GFW. Crowning the new Cody Rhodes champion over the weekend, the new Next Gen champion. You can keep up with all things Global Force at globalforcewrestling.com. And, of course, our great friend Jeff Jarrett is on Twitter at Real Jeff Jarrett.
Hey, Jeff, is Karen there?
No. She's home. She's home with the kids right now.
Okay, all right. Thanks so much, Jeff.
I appreciate it, guys.
I hope you have a great holiday. Much love, much respect, okay?
See you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Jeff.
This week, MLW Radio has a huge holiday sale for new customers. Get 1 month free if you sign up now through December 25th. Go to MLWVIP.com. Click on the red banner, sign up, and enter code VIP. And you'll get a month free. Only new subscribers can redeem it. Treat yourself to the gift that keeps on giving and get yourself a free month of Jim Cornette's Drive-Thru, History in the Making, The Writer's Room, Indie-Rific, MLW Radio Extra, and thousands of podcasts in our archives, including Talking Shop and more. Go to MLWVIP.com and use promo code VIP. That's VIP.
If you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. Woo!
Don't miss a minute of the Ric Flair Show. Subscribe on iTunes now.
In Ric Flair, who you're looking at, the man. Woo!
Woo! The Ric Flair Show.
With an erection that is so rigid, you can strike matches on it.
And now, more Ric Flair. This Week in History is brought to you by LootCrate.com/Flair. And use promo code Flair to save another $3 off an already incredible value. Over $60 worth of WWE swag for less than $20 at LootCrate.com/Flair.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome as Jim Crockett Promotions presents Starrcade 85. It's the gathering. I'm Bob Caudle along with Tony Schiavone. Tony, tonight, professional wrestling history will be made, and all of these fans across the country are a big part of it.
Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. It's the night you've been waiting for. It's Starrcade 85, and Bob, we have a fever pitch here at the Omni in Atlanta for what should be a night that we all will remember.
Title. As is custom, we introduce the challenger first. Former holder of this coveted title, 2 times. He hails from Austin, Texas. Weighs in at 275 pounds. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Here's the referee. 1, 2, oh!
Yes, he kicked out. I don't believe it, he kicked out. Another referee has come in because Tommy Young is still down. He's wrapped him up. He did it. Dusty Rhodes has done it. Okay, everybody, we are back here, and congratulations, Dusty Rhodes. He is the new world heavyweight champion.
Let me tell you something.
This is a moment. This is a moment that is going to live in wrestling history. Congratulations. It was a long road back for this man, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and deservedly enjoying this moment. Billy Jack Haynes is here. Deservedly enjoying this moment. Dusty?
We got it, Daddy. Let me tell you something. We got it. Way back when Dusty Rhodes said this was for the textile workers, auto workers, car workers, all the blue-collar people across this country, this great land. The American Dream came back from the bottom and is now world heavyweight champion, and I'm going to be that way for a long time. My man Chief, we here, Daddy. Nobody can beat the people. Nobody can beat the world. And nobody can beat the American Dream.
The new world heavyweight champion is the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And Bob, it was a night, like we said at the top of Starrcade 85, a night that wrestling fans will never forget. And what a way to climax the night.
All right, Rick, it's November 28th, 1985, and we're at the Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro and at the Omni in Atlanta for Starrcade 85, The Gathering. Earlier this night, Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard fought for the U.S. Heavyweight Championship in an I Quit match set in a steel cage. the Rock and Roll Express had barn burner of a cage match for the World Tag Team titles against Ivan and Nikita Koloff. But now it's time for the main event. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. You and the Horsemen had broken Dusty's ankle at the end of September in a cage. And a month prior to this show is when Dusty cut one of, if not the most famous promo in wrestling history, Hard Times. Last year around this time, you said you believed that November 85 was the birth of the Horseman. And this is when the business is about to be on fire for Crockett. Kind of tell everybody how big this show was and how important it was for the business.
Nothing bigger ever. In WWE or WCW or NWA, the show was that big. I mean, no one will recognize it like that, but in terms of where I was in my life, it was huge.
Talk me through the decision to have the locations for this event. There were 2 separate locations, and WrestleMania would try to copy this a few months later and try to one-up it.
It should have been in Greensboro. That's where we made a mistake. You can't leave your backyard. Be like Alabama playing their home games at App State.
Yeah.
Give me a break. But you know what? It's an experiment. They tried it. Didn't work out. And Greensboro's never forgiven them. I mean, I just saw the Crockett this weekend. Greensboro has never forgiven the wrestling business for taking, what was their thing, their flagship event, to other areas. But that was an experiment in growth, which everybody goes through. And they're both sold out. No deal, but just not cool in the eyes of people from Greensboro.
Whose idea was the finish for this match where the fans in the arena leave thinking Dusty had won the title, but then later learned that Tommy Young changed it to a DQ so you would retain? Was this Dusty's idea? Many people, rightfully so or not, call it the Dusty finish.
Yes, of course it was. I wasn't mad about it. I wasn't upset at all about it. A dream. I love the dream. Whatever we wanted, we did,
Do you think this was effective?
Well, I just think if you look back on the history of Dusty Rhodes, Starrcade, Flair for the Gold, I mean, that was him. War Games, that was all him. It wasn't me. He had a phenomenal imagination. He was creative as hell. And you know what? It's so sad that it took him to pass away to get all the accolades of who he was. And thank God WWE gave Dusty everything back for who he was in our life, in our business, and as a man with a beautiful family.
Well, there you go. Dusty Rhodes, Starrcade 85, The Gathering, This Week in History. Thanks to our friends at MidAtlanticGateway.com for doing some research for us.
Hashtag Ask Nate, brought to you by Omaha Steaks. Looking for the perfect gift? Let me tell you about Omaha Steaks and how, for only $49.99, you can get Rick's Family Gift Pack when you go to omahasteaks.com and enter Rick's code FLAIR in the search bar. That's 77% off at omahasteaks.com. Just use promo code FLAIR. If you'd like to ask Rick a question, just tweet using hashtag AskNate, and we can ask your question next week on the show.
All right, Rick, here we go. This week's Ask Nate. Let's get right into it. We're going to double you up and do 2 questions. First up, Carl Fitzgerald on Twitter asks, was it your idea to arrive in a helicopter at the Great American Bash 1986 when you faced Ricky Morton?
Channel 9.
Channel 9 suggested it.
They called me and said, let's do it, Nate. You're that biggest star in Charlotte.
Next up, hashtag Ask Nate. Champ, do you have any great stories about the Dean of Wrestling Broadcasters, Mr. Gordon Soley?
I have great stories about Gordon, but I would never, ever tell the stories because it was stuff we were great friends. I will tell you this. Jack Briscoe called me and said, Rick, Gordon's dying. He wants to talk to you. And I was driving somewhere. It was after my Hall of Fame induction. No, obviously from the Hall of Fame induction. And I go, Jack, no problem. And I called Gordon. He said, I love you. He died an hour later.
Wow.
Guys, nobody understands. I've been in some stuff nobody gets. Harley Race now is in a rest home. I mean, I just want to adopt Harley Race. The greatest guy, the toughest guy, this is the best, but he's in a rest home. And I'm rolling now, but I'm not sure why I deserve to be there, but I'll leave it like that.
Voicemail of the week brought to you by Casper.com/Flair. Try the most awarded mattress in the industry for 100 nights risk-free and free shipping and returns at Casper.com/Flair. And get $50 off using promo code FLAIR. If you'd like to be next week's Voicemail of the Week, just call the Ric Flair Show hotline. 844-RIC-SHOW. Leave your name, city you're from, and your hot take. If you've got what it takes to style and profile on the show, call now. Toll free, 844-RIC-SHOW. Now, here's this week's Voicemail of the Week.
Rick, Conrad, Jeff calling from Los Angeles. An unusual question for you. When you're traveling and you're an active sports entertainer, how do you wash your trunks? How often? Going from city to city, and how's the gear getting clean? Thank you much, and enjoy the show. I've heard every episode.
Let's do this week's voicemail of the week, and then we'll get out of here, give some Twitter plugs to our friends. This is something we never talked about before, Rick. Laundry. Who washes the tights? This is something...
I said early, I never wore the same tights twice. I kept my knee pads, or if I was on a quick deal, I washed my tights in the sink at night before I got drunk and went to bed.
Is that what everybody did back in the day? They would just wash it in their hotel sink?
No, I have no ideas. I have no clue what they did. But I put my tights in the sink, washed them, shampoo, woke up in the morning, got drunk, picked them up at 5 a.m., tucked them in my bag, and went.
There you go.
But to be honest with you, I used to carry I never wore the same shit twice, as you know.
Right.
Wore wrestling, some of them I threw away another pair. I spent more money, Conrad, than you could ever imagine on my road. Not just my clothing, but trunks, boots, God, give me a break.
How many pairs of trunks do you think you bought over the years?
How many what?
How many pairs of trunks do you think you bought over the years?
Carl Hildegard. 600.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't wear my shit twice.
Wow.
I didn't wear... It's like Clifford Macias. 600 pairs of boots. Scuffed toes, no. Carl Hildegard. They're not around now, but if you need me to wrestle on WrestleMania, which I'm able to do, I'll have to have my custom stuff made again.
Love it. Let's get some Twitter stuff to our friends. A little love for @Indochino. Man, Ric Flair, he just talked about it. He was always styling and profiling, but he had to break the bank to do it. You don't have to. You can be custom made from head to toe at Indochino.com. Just use promo code FLAIR. At Omaha Steaks, the nature boy knows where to be eating good, and he's eating Omaha Steaks, and you should too. Just use promo code FLAIR.
Like double dog dare ya!
Casper, of course. Wow. One of our oldest sponsors. Man, he's put a lot of miles on mattresses on the roads over the years. But when he's at home, when he's giving lessons on Space Mountain in Atlanta, Georgia, he's doing it on a Casper. At Loot Crate. Check out Loot Crate. Use promo code FLAIR there. Flair's always had the good stuff, and now you can too. And you can have it at a great deal at Loot Crate. Of course, we're on the show at Ric Flair Show. Our great guest today, Mr. Jeff Jarrett, is on Twitter at Real Jeff Jarrett. I am at Hey, it's Conrad. Our master of ceremonies is at Jerome Fisher VO. And our great friends at MidAtlanticGateway.com did all our research this week for This Week in History. Rick, where are you headed this weekend, man? You've got a full schedule, as always.
I'm going to Orlando for the, it's on my Facebook. You're the Comic-Con, right?
Oh, yeah, Spooky Empire.
I'm back. And I'm going to see Julio, your brother, and my man from
Alabama, baby.
Alabama and the Falcons, who are going to beat Kansas City Chiefs. I love Andy Reid, but Andy, it's going to be a bad day for you Sunday, okay?
It is going to be a bad day.
And then I'm flying out, hopefully, to be in Austin for Raw, but if they change their mind, I'm cool. It's a long day with Raw, but you know what? They're great. WWE is the greatest company in the world. Nobody gets it. My lawyer, Melinda Mazzoni, spent the weekend there. I spent the day there, and it goes, God, this is what life's all about. Let's give a shout out to Melinda. MZ.
Absolutely. At Legacy Talent LLC on Twitter. Melinda can get you the deals that you need.
More than that. Big time. Legacy Talent. Melinda Zanoni, who had a great time with this week, came to the show, had a wonderful experience, supports me and WWE, loves you, Conrad, as you know. Everything's good. Give Melinda a shout out. And Melinda, by the way, thank you for making me all the money you're making me. God bless you.
Hey, go see Rick this weekend. Spooky Empire. He's at the Orange County Convention Center in Orlando, Florida. It's this weekend. Don't miss him. He'll be there in Orlando.
And by the way, don't miss this. I'm coming back early to get drunk with you in Buckhead, okay?
Well, so there you go.
Saturday night.
I triple dog dare you.
Leave your dad at home. Love you, buddy.
I love you too, man.
This is the MLW Radio Network.